insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
Mountaintop Title and Notary can handle all of your motor vehicle and PennDOT needs, such as titles, plates, renewal, registrations, and all notary needs. Tina Nicholson of Mountaintop Title and Notary can also handle ATV and boat titles and also does income taxes. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and appointments can be made for after hours and Saturdays. Mountaintop Title and Notary with a new location at 655 Nelson Road in Farmington, the only place you need to go for all title, notary, and tax work. Call Tina at 724-984-1514 for the most professional services around.
It's a new day at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, and we're bringing a new level of quality health care to our community. From primary care to specialty services, our team has always put patients first. And now, thanks to our merger with WVU Medicine, our commitment to patient-centered care has grown even stronger. With new resources, a growing staff, and advanced technology, our team is here to provide you with top-quality care when it matters most. Discover the new Uniontown Hospital and see how we've grown.
When you make the right decision, it feels good, like picking the perfect gift. It feels really good to make the right insurance decision, too. That's why State Farm Agent Nate Ferguson is here in Uniontown to help you select the right protection at the right price. Nate will make sure you understand your coverages so you'll know what to expect if the unexpected happens. With State Farm Agent Nate Ferguson, it's easy to make the right choice. Just call Nate when you want the real deal.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of John Marietta and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Fayette County Recorder of Deeds Office or Fayette County government. This program is privately produced and funded, and no county resources are used for its production or promotion.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I was trucking up the highway, minding my own lane, with some dude in a Prius went and flipped me off. Guess my redneck hit him wrong. Seems like everyone these days is a ticking time bomb full of hate for folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change. And it gets me thinking, leave this long-haired country for alone, and I start singing along to the line.
Good afternoon, Fayette County, and welcome to WMBS. I'm Melanie Patterson, and I'm sitting in for the Hillbilly, Jon Marietta, while he's in Harrisburg enjoying the Pennsylvania Farm Show. John's representing Fayette County there with his granddaughter and her rabbits, and we love seeing that kind of family and community pride represented well in Harrisburg. We've got a great conversation lined up today, but first let's thank the sponsors who make this show possible. Burhans Kraus Funeral Home, Mong Auto Body, Thundering Hills Feeding Supply, JB Market in Dunbar, Fayette Structures, Country Motor Sales, Humbert Sanitation and Septic Pumping, Fayette County MAGA Patriots, Highline Motorsports, Gilday Acres Construction, Hillbilly Racing LLC, YourNews.com, Solid Foundation Ministries, and the New Life Free Methodist Church. We appreciate their continued support of our local radio and our community. So, let's get right to it. Let's get right started to it. Yes. Let's get a little bit nervous here. First time heading the show. Let's get into today's conversation because it's about something that affects every one of us right here at home. Joining me in the studio is Denise Stasko, the newly sworn in Bell Vernon Borough Councilwoman, whose journey into public service began right at the grassroots level. So Denise, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your connection to Fayette County.
Well, I'm a lifelong resident of Bell Vernon Borough. My husband and I, we raised our children there 53 years.
Wow.
And I'm just a regular, everyday citizen and not a career politician, and I love my community.
That's great. That's great. What motivated you, Denise, to get involved, after the 2020 election? What motivated you to start getting involved
just
in politics?
concerned how things were being run, and I prayed for it, what should I do? So complaining isn't enough. I decided to step up inside the system.
Right.
And get involved.
In 2016, you did something, that...
Oh, yes. 2016, I was a lifelong Democrat. But 2016, I seen Trump come down that escalator, and a light bulb went off in my head. And I said, you know what? I'm going to become a Republican.
And what motivated you that? Because you said what? He wasn't a
businessman.
He wasn't a politician. He appeared like an average, everyday person.
Yeah, he wasn't a politician. He was a businessman, and he knew how to run things.
He seemed to be sticking up for the middle class, the
Exactly.
long-forgotten people that we don't typically see in politics, especially at the national level. They do a lot of talk, but there's no action. And he was a man, that was a developer, successful in New York City, and he got you to think a little bit about politics.
Yes.
And start listening and paying a little bit more attention in 2016. So what was your first step into local politics?
Okay, let's go to 2022. I ran for a precinct committee person, became a poll worker, where they provided training, and it's very easy. Anybody can do it. It's more approachable than you expect.
Back up to you ran for precinct committee person in 2022.
Yep.
How did you do that? How do you become a precinct committee person?
Yes, first of all.
For what? The Republican Party?
The Republican Party. You get your...
you got signatures? You need to get signatures in your neighborhood?
In the neighborhood, you had to get 10 signatures.
You got more than 10.
I did get more than 10. Very proud of it, too.
Because you're basically, asking your neighbors who are Republicans and conservatives to sign your petition to get your name on the ballot.
Got my name on the ballot.
And then that year, in the May primary that year of 2022,
I won the election.
You won the primary election for the Republican Party to be a precinct committee person to represent your neighborhood.
Yes.
As a conservative Republican. So that was your little start. That
Yes.
got your little feet wet,
Yeah. Yes.
And then after that, becoming a precinct committee person, you attended meetings.
I attended meetings.
The Republican Party.
The Republican Party.
I think elections and Act 77 were big hot topics in 2022.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
After the 2020 election, and you decided to become a poll worker.
Yes.
And how did you do that?
You become a poll worker.
You said
judge of
did
election.
someone ask you?
Yes.
Did someone ask
yes.
you?
The judge of elections contacted me.
In your
asked-
precinct?
In my precinct. Asked me if I'd be interested. And I said yes. And from there, then you go to training. You have to go training. I mean, they pay you for being a poll worker, and then you get additional funds for attending training.
So I think it's about, to be a poll worker, about $150.
Yes, like that, and probably additional $25
or $40
Yes.
for the training, so that you can go twice a year.
Yes.
You are a poll worker, and then you go training twice a year. So
Yes.
that's, a little bit paid, as well as you're honoring your civic duty there. So you became a poll worker. Training was provided, and it was a little more approachable than you thought, right? It wasn't
yes.
as bad as you thought it was.
No, it's easy training. I mean, if I could do it, anybody could do it.
And you don't need experience. You
No.
just need to care.
Yes.
That's one of the big qualifications in getting involved in anything. But that was how you got into politics. Now, you became a poll worker. What did serving as a poll worker and a committee person teach you? What did you learn from that experience?
In my opinion, it should not be run by the government. It should be run by the precinct level as we go back.
What,
to
our
Act
elections?
7. Yes.
Our elections should be run strictly at the precinct level, which is how it was before Act 77. And you were a poll worker in the 80s. Tell us about that.
Yes, paper ballots. We
Back
need
in
to
the
go.
1980s.
Yes, we need to go back to paper ballots. Very simple.
And the precinct, so when you guys at the precinct level, did the election on election night, you knew who the winner was.
That
You
evening.
counted the ballots there that night. The judge of elections was in
Yes.
charge of everything.
Yes.
It's the responsibility.
We
And
knew that evening.
you felt that, you watched it. You were there participating. So transparency at that precinct level was real important. I know Dr. Frank talks about that too. We've got to take back our elections at the precinct level, which is what Act 77 destroyed. And it's centralized. Everything goes to the county, to Uniontown for decisions to make. Because speaking of that, your family experienced a complicated write-in election event that happened in 2023. Was
Yes,
it? What happened?
23.
Tell me about that.
Oh, yes. My husband was a write-in. He was a write-in candidate.
In the general election?
In the general election. And another general...
For council?
For council, for Bell Vernon
There was
Council.
an opening.
There was an opening, and the other gentleman also was a write-in. So when it came down to it, my husband had more votes than the other candidate, but they installed the other candidate. He got sworn in. And the reason being, they were telling me, because they did not know is it was Stasker Jr. or Stasker Sr. And mind you, there's not a lot of people in Bell Vernon Borough. We have maybe 600 people that vote, but that are registered voters. Let me correct myself. And everybody knows everything. My husband stood out there from early morning till the polls closed. And then the Election Bureau decided to say they did not know if that was my husband running or my son. My son cannot run for a public office. He's a state trooper.
Yeah, right. Well, so the decision
went to the election board, and it went to the Election Bureau instead of being before Act.
So they gave the candidate with less votes because they said they didn't know what the voter intent was when they wrote in your husband's name, Ed Stasko Sr., who stood out there all day with his cards.
Yes.
And the centralized election office here in Uniontown made that decision. But back in the olden days, that decision would have been made where?
It would have been made at the judge of elections.
At the precinct level, by the judge of elections, and the minority and majority inspectors would have made that decision, and they would have known, because it's your precinct, it's your neighborhood, that during that general election that the voters' intent was to have your husband, Ed Stasko Sr., as a candidate of their choice.
Exactly.
In that general election. And that decision was not made. That was made centrally located, and that's what Dr. Frank preaches all the time. We've got to get the government out of our elections, and we've got to take local control at the neighborhood, at the precinct level. So Act 77 did a lot more damage than just the mass mail-in, no-excuse mail-in ballots that is always talked about. But taking our small boroughs are unique. People know everybody. Local involvement is critical during our elections, and citizens must stay engaged. You know that. You saw that.
Yes, yes.
As a judge of elections. So you were the judge of, you were a precinct, you were what, minority? You were the minority inspector at the polls on election day. And you've been doing that since 2022?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a good 4 years you've been twice a year working at the polls, except this past November because your name was on the ballot.
So when
you couldn't work the polls for the first time. Instead, you stood outside there. You and Ed stood all day,
and we gave out our cards and interacted with our community, with the voters coming in, and told them what our outlook was.
Right, and you said when you were campaigning and knocking on doors, you were meeting with voters. You heard some experiences with people that were saying they changed their party. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh yes, let me go back to a friend of mine. She never voted in her life, and when I explained to her how important it is, you can't complain. You have to get involved. And she immediately registered as a Republican, and she voted Republican.
For the first time in November.
For the first time.
All right. See, that small town neighborhood reaching out as a committee person is really important. That's how we get voters to the polls. And that's great. And you had another person, too, that was a Democrat, is kind of voting. You were the first time?
Oh, yes. I grew up with her. We grew up in Bell Vernon, and she's been a registered Democrat all her life. And after the election, she came up to me and said, "You and your husband are the first time I voted Republican."
Wow. See, that's what it takes. Ordinary people.
Yes.
Ordinary citizens stepping up. You have the trust of the voter, and that's what motivates people to get out the vote, when they trust who they're voting for. And you lose that trust, and they stay home. And they say, why am I getting involved? Why would I vote?
Yes, I've heard that. My vote doesn't matter. Every vote counts.
Yeah.
That one vote. Can I mention something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in this last election, my husband, he tied with the incoming candidate. So.
Oh yeah, in the November election.
In the November election.
So you knew that you won.
Yes.
But your husband.
Well, that evening we knew that we won when they came out of the polls and showed what the votes were, and then they had the mail-in ballots. So my husband was tied with the incoming candidate, and
an incumbent.
An incumbent. So afterwards, they said they had other votes. They had to count provisional ballots, And he was tied with her. So came out, and he ended up beating her by one vote. So that one vote counts.
Oh, wow. It certainly does. It certainly does. Wow, that was exciting. So you got sworn in. It's so important for citizens to be paying attention and to be getting involved locally. You were just sworn in as a borough councilwoman on Monday evening. There was a lot of people in that room. I was there. My husband was there. John Marietta even came down.
Yes, he did.
And Joe, another friend from Fayette County, from Uniontown, that came down and supported you. But tell us about that experience. The room was there's no place to sit.
I know, it was packed, and my heart was full of love for my family and the faith and everything. They were there, and the mayor at one point says, "Is anybody else from your family coming?" I said, "I don't know. Let me check, but we should. They should all be here." But I give thanks to the family and friends that came out and supported me.
Yeah, that was great. It was a nice ceremony. You
Yes, it was.
used your grandmother's Bible?
It was my husband's great-grandmother's Bible.
Oh, wow.
The great-grandmother's Bible. And my son held the Bible while we were sworn in.
Yeah, that was nice. And your grandson was there? Both
Both
grandsons.
my grandsons, yeah.
We're watching. What an experience.
Oh, I have to
and
say,
what an
my
example
little
you have.
grandson, Gavin, says, "Why do they want my picture? I'm nobody important." I said, "Yes, you are, buddy."
It's nice. And what an inspiration you are to your own family and to the friends in the community. I mean, they're all looking at you, and, you get a little bit of, pushback from some people that say, "Are you crazy? Why are you getting involved?"
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've had friends say that to me. And I says, it was a calling for me, and I prayed, and,
that's
God
right.
said, "You can do this. Step up."
You sure did. You sure did. Now, you've been involved in the grassroots. I mean, you even go back to 2016 when we were knocking on doors. I think you helped us in North Bell Vernon in the presidential campaign as a volunteer.
Washington Township, yes, too. Yep.
And we were doing all that kind of stuff for the Republican Party. So that was some grassroots experiences for you. You participated in Trump rallies. You've been to workshops that we've had on election integrity.
Yes.
So you're always there, Denise. You're really you find that listening is important whenever you're in these positions?
Yes, listen. Don't just listen. You have to listen to what you're being told,
Yeah, right. Listening, respecting the process, and to always know that you're representing your neighbors, not the politics. And you're serving with humility, which is real important. Okay. I'm new at this, and we got a phone call, but it wasn't for us. It was a business call. So, I get criticism all the time. We all do. Anytime you're in a leadership position or a small business owner or whatever you are, you've got to handle it with grace.
Yes.
And what helps you? I know with me, I'm grounded in my faith. And anytime I kind of get a little upset or get a little emotional, I just get back to prayer and focus on what's important. Focus on the service and not all the noise that you hear. Is that what you think is important?
Like you said, I'm going to get pushback. I'm going to get criticism, but I know that I'm going to persevere and go forward and do what's right and what's good and prove them wrong, that I can do this.
We can do this. It's a we thing, and leadership is always important, and it isn't always comfortable. But, when you lean on prayer, as we do, and we trust God to guide our every steps, that gives me the confidence to move forward.
Yes.
And it's real important, Denise. Well, Nick left us here. I guess we're kind of on our own. We're doing okay. Looking at our time. What would you say to somebody who's listening right now, who's a bit frustrated with all that's going on and unsure what to do? What do you think is important for them to do? I say, number one, don't disengage.
Right.
Don't step back and throw your hands up in the air.
Well, I know they need to attend meetings. Listen and see. If you disagree, you have to voice your opinion in a nice way, not in
respectable,
confrontation.
right?
Yes,
right.
Become a poll worker.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't come and didn't run for a precinct committee person. Yes,
right.
All that is important.
You can become a poll worker. You can contact the election office and sign up to be a poll worker. They'll be having training. Let's see, the election is in May for the primary. So the training for poll workers will begin probably in
April.
End of March or April.
Yes.
Probably end of April. And they have them during the day and in the evenings, and I think on Saturday.
Yes, they do. They make it convenient for you, flexible.
Right. And it's real good, and it's all hands-on. You get to, you learn so much. It's a great thing. In fact, I was a poll worker, too, for a few years. I was a judge of elections in 2022. And, it's you can do it. The first time is always intimidating. I remember
Yes.
I was a little bit scared that first night and didn't sleep the whole night before. But started early, but you get through it, and they're always there. The election office is there by the phone if you have any questions going on through the day. If you were a judge of elections, there's a lot more responsibility than just a poll worker. But you get through it, and you get it done. And if we can do it, anyone can do it. That's for sure. Some other things I wanted to ask too with you, Denise. I know you didn't start out in 2016 with a dream of being a councilwoman.
No.
What do you have to say? You didn't want to be in politics,
No.
but
No, I didn't start out wanting to be in politics. I started out wanting answers. Local government belongs to the people, and if you care about your community, you're already qualified to serve.
that's for sure.
And if I may quote from the Bible, one of the passages I like, it's 1 Corinthians 14:40. But everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way.
That's right. That's right. Very, very good reminder. Stay factual, inspire others. We want people to participate. So Denise's story here proves that civic leadership doesn't belong to insiders. It belongs to everyday citizens like you and I, willing to step forward. And, there's been some recent emotion and division lately, even within our own party. And that's actually part of why today's conversation really matters. We got to get citizens involved. It's all about citizens stepping up, understanding the system, and participating where it actually counts at the local precinct level. If you're listening today and you're frustrated with the politics, here's the truth. The change doesn't start online, and it doesn't start in Harrisburg. It starts locally with citizens who are willing to step up just like Denise did. If Denise can go from a concerned citizen to borough council, and I think you're the vice president.
Yes, I am.
Speaking of that, anyone listening can get involved too. A funny thing happened at the council meeting on Monday night when it was the reorganization, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, while we were doing nominations, and every time I turned around, my husband, who's also on the council, was nominating me. And I said, why are you nominating her for everything? To get her out of the house.
Yeah, for all the different committees that he would make and nominate my wife, and everyone was starting to laugh after about the third or fourth nomination.
Yeah.
And he said, I just want her out of the house. That's all.
But not only him, others nominated me also.
Yeah,
but when he would do
yeah.
nominations, they were laughing about that.
It was very nice. And so you are the vice president.
Yes.
And Cliff Gorski is the chairman.
He's
or
the
president.
Yeah.
And that's the first time for him too. I think he's been on council, but
he's been on council, financials, on the financials. So now he chairs the meetings.
And he's a Republican.
He's a
and
Republican.
You're a Republican, and your husband's a Republican.
Yes.
And 2 Democrats. So
Correct.
you have conservative leadership probably
Yes,
for
we
the first
do.
time in
Yes.
Bell Vernon Borough, and as long as I can remember.
Yes. And this is the first time a husband and wife in Bell Vernon Borough ran together and won on the ticket.
Oh, yes. Great things are happening. You have some things you talked about when we were coming down here, some things that are happening you're looking into doing.
Yes.
You're already
we're
back
looking.
to work.
We're
You've
already
only been in
looking.
office for 3 or 4 days, and
3
you
or 4
already
days.
have an agenda. And
yes, we do have an agenda, but we'll bring that up at the next council meeting.
Yeah.
Or, what we're looking out for.
so you're
Yes.
getting right to work. I know
Yes.
there's a stage put up there.
Yes, the mayor put the stage up there. He said he's going to bring in concerts. And
Oh.
it's hopefully, it will be good for everybody and acceptable for everybody's type of music, not just lean one way.
Oh, yeah. And get a polka band down
Yes.
there. They do real well in North Bell Vernon. My
Yes.
mother has a polka. We bring polka bands in once in summer. And the place is it's the most well-attended event in North Bell Vernon in the park
Yes.
in
yes.
years. So maybe we'll get a polka band downtown
That would
Bell
be
Vernon.
nice. Yeah.
It's exciting. It's just an exciting. I can't wait for what's going to happen with downtown Bell Vernon. You're looking to reach out to other communities together to
Yes. So
pull
we can
resources
work together.
and work
Yes,
together.
Most definitely.
I think great things are going to happen in our little neck of the woods of Fayette County.
Yeah. But I like to go back to the entertainment. Hopefully that we can get Christian music in there.
yeah,
If we can get
gospel
St.
music.
Sebastian's choir down there to sing, that'd be
Well,
great.
you have an in with that because your husband sings on the
Yes,
choir, right?
yes.
Yeah, especially around Christmas time. That would be pretty. Well, some of the things we're talking about today, you obviously don't fix problems in a party or in a town or a borough by walking away from those problems. You fix them by stepping inside. And one of those ways you can do that is to become a precinct committee person, be a poll worker or a council member, exactly like Denise did. That's a good little example for us. Don't complain from the sidelines. Participate, and if we can do it, so can you. I want to announce here we have a MAGA mixer coming up for those of you who want to get involved or learn how to do it. And that's coming up on January 22nd at the Paint Room at 6 o'clock in Connellsville. Anyone who wants to learn how to get involved, run for precinct committee, or help take back our party from the bottom up, we're welcoming you. We want to talk to you on January 22nd. It's a Thursday evening at the Paint Room, 6 o'clock in Connellsville. Go to magapatriots.org for more information, or go to johnmarietta.com for more information. Keep us, we'll keep you abreast of what's going on. We want people to get involved, just like you. And Vince Mineta was going to be on the show today, but he unfortunately couldn't make it. But let's see. The first step is simple. Learn the process, meet like-minded conservatives, and we'll get connected at the grassroots level and take our country back and hopefully take our elections back and get rid of Act 77. Let's try and undo some of that. And there's ways to do that. And, we can do that here in Fayette County, starting at the precinct level. So get signed up. If you're a Republican, go to johnmarietta.com or magapatriots.org for more information. What else is going on here, Nick? How am I doing?
You're doing great.
I'm doing okay?
Absolutely. 5 minutes.
I have 5 minutes.
That's right.
Ooh, that's a long time. That's a long time. Well, I just want to say, I want to thank WMBS for the radio show and John Marietta for allowing me to be his substitute. Didn't have my cowboy hat, but I have my MAGA hat on. And I just want to kind of say thanks for spending part of your afternoon with us here on WMBS. John Marietta will be back in the host chair in the next show, and we hope he had a great time at the farm show, and we'll see you then. And I want to bring out something else I have here, since we are Western Pennsylvania people, is my terrible towel.
What's that?
Where's yours, Nick?
I left mine at home. I'm glad you brought yours.
did.
It's in the dry cleaners, yeah.
Well, I think they're waving them all across Western
Absolutely.
Pennsylvania, all across the world, the country, because
That's right. Hoping for a big win Monday
hoping
night.
for a big win.
So.
That's right.
Yeah, this past Monday I was there, and then
Oh,
I'll tell
wow.
you what, that when they scored, and then I went to the restroom. I said I can't watch anymore, and then I heard all that scream while I was in the restroom. I came out, and go, what happened? They said he missed the kick, so they were
was amazing.
celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the holy water thing is kind
That's
of a funny
great.
stuff.
That was great.
I've been seeing things on Facebook that they put it in the Gatorade on Monday night. They're putting the holy water in the Gatorade. And what else did I see? They're squirting it all over the whole football field.
That's right. Say whatever works. Whatever it takes, right?
It's what it took on Monday night.
That's right.
Pretty good.
Amazing.
Well, Denise, anything else you want to share about being a committee person? Anything that you want to see hope happens to downtown Bell Vernon?
Well,
What
like I
would you
said,
like to see happen?
transparency, and I'd like to, get our town cleaned up. Because when I was growing up, everybody knew everybody. You knew your neighbors, and they took pride in their community, in their property, and that. I like to see people take pride in that again.
Get back to that. Well, Ed, you and Ed have done a lot with the park too. You do a lot of things. Veterans Day.
Yes.
Tell us about some of those things you do in the park.
Memorial.
You've been community volunteers. You've been community
volunteers
volunteers for a long time.
We
before
start
you get involved in
we start
politics.
Memorial Day, and he gets the flags. He goes to California, and he gets all the flags, but for all the branches of the service and the American flag.
Speaking of service, he was in the service too.
Yes,
Ed was.
he's very
is a
proud of
Marine.
Marine. He's very proud to
So
be
you're
a
married
Marine.
to a veteran, and your son.
My son was in the Navy, and my other son was the Army Reserves.
Wow.
And we were citing about my son that was in the Navy. He was on the U.S. Enterprise, and we got to go out on that.
Oh,
It was called
wow.
Dependence Cruise, so that was fun.
Wow.
That was
See,
exciting.
you come from a family of dedicated to service in many different ways, and then your son is a state trooper.
He's a state trooper.
Which is, again, caring about the community, making sure the people are safe.
Yes. And my other son works for the Army Corps of Engineers, so they came out of the service, and they're still serving.
Still serving our community. So that's a great family history, and so glad that you guys are on the council, you and your husband, and Cliff Gorski, with that kind of leadership. There's going to be things happening in downtown Bell Vernon, which is we're the furthest part of Fayette County. We're right at the tip. I kind of say we're number one, huh?
Yes, of
Bell
course
Vernon
we're
Borough is number one in
Bell
Fayette
Vernon
County
is
because
number
you're
one.
right at the top of the map if you look at it, and you're number one. Absolutely, you're going to
People
make it
recognize
number one.
I'm going to make it number one.
You got a new sign that was put there too. I think that was from a grant.
That was from a grant. Yeah, we'll see. That was I believe Cliff wrote that grant now.
Oh, yeah.
And now the other day when I went to work, someone said, "Hey, I see you're up in lights now." I said, "What are you talking about?" They posted our picture on that sign.
It's a real nice little welcome sign into the little town of Bell Vernon because Bell Vernon is 200. It had a 200th birthday in 2013. So it was established in 1813?
Yes, I believe
Downtown
that,
Bell Vernon.
by Noah Spears.
By Noah Spears. And there was a glass factory at one time that employed 300 people.
Yes.
Had, one or two movie theaters?
Oh, yeah.
I
remember
think
the
one movie
Ritz,
theater.
It was called the Ritz. I remember the Ritz. But there was one in North Bell Vernon called the Verdi.
Yeah, the Verdi.
Ritz and that.
But there was a lot of stuff going on in Bell Vernon at one time downtown.
Oh, yes. And sometimes, if you're digging in your yard or something, you still might find glass from that glass factory in there. It's buried beneath. Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
That is.
Pretty good. I know there's, speaking of glass, I know at the Dunbar Historical Museum, there is a big chunk of glass in that museum. I had the opportunity to see it during the Dunbar Festival. Do you know that it's 2.7 tons?
Is that right?
It's the biggest glass in the world.
Wow.
I think it's
2.7
tons.
that? Wow, that's amazing.
And it has an interesting story. In fact, I had jury duty this week. I was telling everybody about this piece of glass. People from Dunbar didn't even know that glass was in there. It was the last piece of glass that was manufactured at the glass factory there in along the Yawk in Dunbar. When the factory closed in the 50s, they just got all this molten glass or whatever and put it in a big blob. And an artist from California bought it, and she was doing sculpturing out of it.
Wow.
And Donald Trump got a hold of it in 2015 or 2000. I don't know. You have to go to the museum to find out. And he brought it back to Dunbar, and they had to build an addition to put it in.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's blue, but it's beautiful. You have to see this piece of glass.
I'll check it out.
They had to bring it in through the roof. There's like a crazy story. But when you look into that big piece of glass, it has a name to it. You feel like you're in the ocean. It's blue, and that was from the sand and the water from the glass factory.
That's awesome.
In Dunbar. But it's the biggest glass thing in the world. 2.7 tons. It's amazing. So speaking of glass,
There's a lot of history in
a
Little
lot
Bell
of
Vernon.
history.
A lot of history. So it'd be
even
nice-
in Fayette County, a lot of history. I had jury duty this week too and saw the Liberty Bell. If anybody is in the courthouse, you have to see that 250th anniversary Liberty Bell that is made out of cloth, and it has the history of Fayette County on there. The generals. It even has the Big Mac is cut out and made in fabric and put on the Liberty Bell, and it rotates and it goes all the way around. It's really beautiful. So if you have to take a little stop into the county courthouse in Uniontown, and it's down to the left. So as soon as you come in, make a left and go all the way down where all the statues are in that historic section. So we're good.
Yep.
So we have good.
Yeah,
Wrapping
just
up?
about 30 seconds if you want to wrap it up.
Oh, well, again, thanks for spending your afternoon with us, and we're just grateful to be here. Praise the Lord. Thank God. Have a great weekend, and let's go Steelers.
Yes.
There you go.
Here we go, Steelers.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Denise, for coming. That's good.